you one thing that you got going on right now that's out of order, that's going to help you put your household back in order. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 18.
That's right.
Bring it out. First we go. Cut 'em up, cut 'em up, cut 'em up. There we go. Build 'em up, build 'em up. Yeah, there we go. Break 'em down, break 'em down, break 'em down. There we go. Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. Cut 'em up, cut 'em up, cut 'em up. There we go. Build 'em up, build 'em up, build 'em up. There we go. Break 'em down, break 'em down, break 'em down, break 'em down. Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. If you don't know me, I stay with them OGs. RSRAELITE, chosen seed. Original gods, so bright that you can't even see me. When I open mouth, you blinded like I got a mouth full of gold teeth. We cut them up, then we let them know. Building them up, they go wide and show. And then good, we ain't no more. We stomped his ass right through the flow. 12 tries, I'm calling out. Yelling repent with a big shot. Time to realize that you've been sodomized with all the lies. First we go. Cut them up, cut them up, cut them up. There we go. Build them up, build them up. Yeah, there we go. Break them down, break them down, break them down. There we go.
It's Christ. Did you hear that, bro? Every man, meaning every Israelite man, the head of you is Christ. That's your head. Come on.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Read that again.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Bro, who are you the head of? You're the head of the woman. So you gotta know what is required of you to be the head of a woman. Right. If you're the head, because right now we out of order. Let's continue with the order of God and what he set up on earth.
And the head of Christ is God.
So that's the order. The Most High set up is God, Christ, showing what? That's two different people. So the order is God, Christ, man, and woman. That's the order that God set up. Now, is God out of order? Is God in heaven out of order? Yes. No, is God out of order? No, is Christ out of order? When he came back, he said he can't do anything of his own will, but of the Father that sent him. So, if our God is in order, Christ is in order, we're going down the line. Why our community out of order? Who next in line? The man. The man is out of order. That's why everything below the man is out of order.
It just makes sense.
If God in order, Christ in order, the man is out of order, meaning what? The woman gonna be out of order, the children are gonna be out of order. But let's see something very small to put that order in place. Keep reading.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
So this is a law in the New Testament. It says a man, if you're praying or prophesying, meaning what? If you're praying and you're coming out of this Bible, if your head is covered, you dishonor God. Oh, I'm sorry, you dishonor Christ, who is your head. So your head is uncovered, all praise to the Most High. You keep it that law. But now let's see what's next.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head.
So it says if a woman is praying or prophesying and her head is not covered, who is she dishonoring? Who is her head? You. So part of you getting your house in order is what? When the scriptures come out and you praying, you got to make your wife cover her head. Right. Because what? That shows a sign of she's honoring God's statue. Right. She's honoring God's covering her head or not covering her head. By her covering her head, she's showing that she realized the order that God set up and she's willing to keep that. That's a sign of she's willing to keep the order, meaning what? Meaning what? Hold it. Give me Genesis 3:16. Bring it out. See, something small as a head covering means a lot. That's why it's crazy when we got brothers that come up here and we read that scripture where it says, if the word is coming out, take your hat off. brothers don't want to take the hat off. What is that saying? If a brother doesn't take his hat off after what we just read, that ain't disrespect. It means he wants to be a woman. He wants to be ruled. He wants to be in a woman's place. That's her job to cover her head when the scripture's coming out.
Right. We don't let it cover our head. We don't supposed to.
We don't supposed to.
Not the man.
Not the man, but why? Because the woman was made in your image. She's showing respect to you by covering her head. She's showing, yes, I'm in agreement with what God set up. This is what God set up.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 16.
Bring it out!
Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
So it says, in sorrow women are going to bring forth children. So what happens when women are going through childbirth? It's pain. So this right here is what? Most of put that on the women for disrespecting the order. Trying to trying to usurp authority over the man. So God says what? You're going to have those monthly pains. Not only that, when you bring children to the world, you're going to have horrible pains. And let's see what else that hair covering is representing, what she's agreeing to.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
What does the word desire mean? You're interested in something? Your desire. Let's say you're hungry. Let's say you're hungry. That's your desire. What are you going to do to fulfill that desire? You get something to eat. You're going to do some work. You're going to do whatever it takes to fulfill that hunger pain. That's what God said. Your desire, whatever thing you want, it has to be whatever your husband wants. His desire is your desire.
Right.
Your desire should be to please your husband. So her wearing hair covering, that's what she's supposed to be in agreement with. But she don't want to wear that thing. What is that showing? She has no respect for you. Read.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
So it says the man is supposed to rule over the woman. But that doesn't mean just disrespect her. No, that don't mean disrespect her. It just means there has to be some type of order in that household. If not, they're going to be fussing and fighting. Who the kids going to look up to? They don't know. They're going to be confused. So, with that being said, hey, you know the strong man scripture? Yeah. So, just think about what's going on in our communities today. Where is the black man? Where's the so-called black man in our community? What's that? You gotta go find him. He's nowhere to be found. But you think that's by just coincidence or that's by design?
I think by coincidence.
Coincidence? All right, let's see what the Bible says. Mark chapter 3 verse 25? 27. Mark chapter 3 verse 27. Let's see if it's by coincidence that the man is not the head of the household.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 3 and verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man.
So it says first, if you want to go into a strong man's house and spoil and destroy everything, you got to first bind that man up. How do you bind him up? You take him out of his position. So you do everything to lift the woman up and you make the man low. You make him a kid. That's how you bind the strong man. That's how you spoil the house, by destroying things that everybody in the household is against him. So now what is he going to do? He's going to take the back seat. He don't know how to be a man. So the Bible is teaching what? We got to be men. We got to take our rightful position back. It's to do what? Learn God's laws.
Right.
Give me Habakkuk 2 and 18.
Bring it out.
Bring it out.
All praise to the Most High. So now, I'm going to show you one thing that you got going on right now that's out of order, that's going to help you put your household back in order. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 18.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2.
That's right.
Chapter 2 and verse 18.
Bring it out.
What profiteth the graven image?
So the Bible says, what profit in there is there for you wearing a graven image? A graven image meaning what? Someone made it. Read.
That the maker thereof have graven it, the molten image, and a teacher of lies.
So it says, graven images are teachers of lies. So you may look and think that it's talking about any image out there. Hold it. Give me 1 Kings chapter 12. 1 Kings chapter 12. Give me where they made the two golden calves. So it says, what profit is there a graven image? It says it's a molten image and a teacher of lies. So if you don't read the Bible precept upon precept to get the true understanding, you would think that any image is graven. But it's not talking about that. It's talking about you doing a specific thing. I think it may be around 28, 30, somewhere in there.
Okay.
28, read.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 12, and verse 28.
Bring it out.
Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold.
So it says here, this is Jeroboam. He was over another kingdom. He was the king at this time. He said he made 2 golden calves. Why? Because there was a split right now between us. On this sign here, we are one nation of people, but the slave ships divided us up, thinking that we're different. So Judah, Benjamin, and Levi was one tribe, and then on down was another tribe because of King Solomon's sin. He started marrying other women of other nations. Did you know we're not supposed to do that? So God got angry at that thing and split us up to be 2 different kingdoms. So here now he talks to Jeroboam that was over Ephraim on down. Jeroboam didn't want us to go and start worshiping God again, so he made 2 calves. Come on.
And made 2 calves of gold, and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
So I said, these 2 calves here I got, that's who saved you out of Egypt. What happened to the Israelites when they were in Egypt? They was in slavery, all praises. So he said, it wasn't the Most High God that created everything that brought you out of Egypt. He said, these 2 calves I created, that's who saved you. But let's see if him creating the calves was a sin or not.
That's what he told the people.
That's what he told the people. Yes.
Who told him?
Jeroboam, who was the king at that time. Jeroboam.
Verse 29, and he set the one in Bethel, and the other put he in Dan.
So it was 2 calves. He split them up. He put one on Bethel, and the other one he put in Dan for the people to worship. Come on.
And this thing became a sin.
Read that again.
And this thing became a sin.
So it says not the creating of that thing was the sin. The sin came in when what happened?
For the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan.
So it wasn't the sin of him creating the calves, but when they went to worship it, that's when the sin came in. So here, let's go back to Habakkuk. So when you begin to worship those things, and to worship doesn't mean just you bow down and say whatever you say to that thing. It means you following the doctrines behind that thing. So let's read it again, Habakkuk chapter 2.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 18. What profiteth the graven image?
So something that's graven, he said, what profit is that thing? Come on.
That the maker thereof have graven it. The molten image and the teacher of lies.
So now we know you start to worship it as a teacher of lies. Because why? We look to these images as what? This is what's going to give me my comfort. Like money. Let's take money for instance. That's a graven image. Why? Because our people worship that thing. They spend their whole life trying to make money. And then what? Along the way while they made it, whatever they did, they destroyed their people. They don't care about their people. But sooner or later, you're going to want to share it with your people. What do all these athletes do? The entertainers do. What do? They make all this money, they gather in all this money, then they want to throw a party. Hold up. Everybody in the party hates you. Because you didn't care about them along the way. You lied, you cheated, you steal, you did all these things to get that money, and now you don't care about your people. So here it says, what profit is there in a graven image? Right now we're dealing with the image we have on your neck right now. God is asking you, what profit is it in that thing? Come on.
What profiteth the graven image that the maker thereof hath graven it? The molten image and a teacher of lies that the maker.
So it says, a teacher of lies. So that right there, I'm telling you right now that that's a teacher of lies on your neck. That pendant, not the chain, but the pendant. Because what? What's inside of that? What's graven on top of that thing? What's that? You said that's Ezekiel? What's that? Either way it goes, what color they say the people of the Bible are? The same color as that man on there. I guarantee he ain't on there with an afro. It ain't teaching that as us. So while you wearing that thing, that people gonna look at that and say, the people of the Bible are white, when they're not. The people of the Bible are black, they are us. Did you know that? All right, we're gonna get it. But here it says, it's a teacher of lies. Come on.
That the master of his work trusted therein to make dumb idols.
So it said that's a dumb idol. Because why? It's not going to bring comfort it's not going to bring comfort to you. That's why we gather and wear all these things. Some things we wear because we want people to think we're over righteous, like that cross. A lot of people around here wear a cross on their neck. They can't tell you nothing about the Bible. Slavery is in the Bible, our slavery is in the Bible, but they got a cross on their neck and they can't even show it to you. So what? They want to look over righteous. It's just for show. There's no profit in that thing. You gotta do something in the Bible for it to be respectable to the Most High. That's right. But you wearing that thing around your neck right now, you teaching lies to our people. You're doing the same thing as that white image right there is doing to our people. It has destroyed the minds of our people. That's why Chicago is the way that it is right now. That's why we kill ourselves, because we don't know that our image is in the Bible. Give me Job 30 and 30. What's that? Our history. Yes, they say it's a white man's book. What color is Christ? He's black. Think about that. Think about the world right now. Do the white man put our image on anything positive? So why would they do it for the greatest man to walk the earth? So let's see what Job says his color is.
This is the book of Job, chapter 30 and verse 30.
Bring it out.
My skin is black upon me.
So Job says his skin is black. As you read all through the Bible over and over again, the prophets said they are black. But deception has been throughout the earth, so that what? You hate yourselves. You hate yourselves. Give me Romans chapter 1, verse 20. Now hold up. Give me that. Hold Romans 1 and 20. First give me Psalms 19 and 7. What are we out here to do? We're out here to show you what's going to get you out of the condition that you're in. What's going to bring the man back into the household. What's going to clear up the STD rate in the so-called black community. What's going to put the happiness back in the home. Read Psalms chapter 19, verse 7.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
The law of the Lord is perfect.
So God says his laws is perfect. We can use something carnal. We use as music. What's your favorite song, bro?
Tupac.
Tupac, your favorite song.
Yeah.
Tupac got some perfect songs, right?
Yeah.
Hey, do you ever stop playing those songs? So God just says his laws are perfect. Why are you going to do away with them?
I know, right?
So why is the Christian church saying that? They're lying to you.
Yeah.
They deceived. Why? Because it was set up by your slave master.
That's right.
Read it again.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7.
This is team.
The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul.
That's right.
Read it again.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul.
So it says God's laws convert your soul. What does the word convert mean?
Like, convince you when you're wrong or something?
Convert. Let's say you got a car and it's a convertible. It changes it. It changed from a car with a top on it to a no top on it. It changes. So here it says God's laws is what converts you. It changes your soul. Because right now, what's wrong with our soul? Give me Mark 7 and 21. Because right now our soul is wicked. But we don't see that thing. Why? Hey, you ever seen an alcoholic before? They sick. They need some help. But do they think they're sick? Not at all. We gotta force them to understand and believe that they're sick. That's what's wrong with our people. We don't see that we're sick right now. We're sick. Come on.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 21. For from within, out of the heart of man, proceed evil thoughts.
Where do thoughts come from, bro? Hey, what's your name? Flyby? Flyby, all right, my name is Ezekiel, Flyby. Where the hearts, where the thoughts come from? From your mind. So it says, out of the heart of men proceed evil thoughts. Meaning what? Evil thoughts are in our minds. Let's see those thoughts. Read.
Adultery.
Adulteries is in our mind. We think we're adultery in your mind. That's why we must keep God's commandments, because why? If we're trying to build a nation together, we're trying to come together as one. If I'm standing behind an adultery, I got to worry about him trying to sleep with my wife. How's that going to make you feel? I don't want to join with anyone like that. That's why God's laws are needed. I don't want an adulterer beside me trying to sleep with my wife. Let's see what else. Come on.
Fornication.
So fornication is in our minds. Meaning what? You sleep with anything. You sleep with incest. You sleep with animals. You sleep with everything. Read.
Murders.
Murder is in our mind. You hear that? Hold that, because you can drop, I don't want to go to Romans. Drop that. Give me 1 John 3:15. It says murder is in our mind. But we think murder is just you going out and killing someone. That's not murder. We got to go to the Word of God to see how murder starts. How does murder start first? Read.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3, and verse 15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
So murder starts with you hating yourself and you hating your brother. Think about that thing. Because no one works, pretty much people that murder people, they don't just work up that day and say, I'm going to kill somebody today. Not us anyway. Maybe the other nations, not us. But someone step on your shoe, oh, I got to kill him. He just stepped on my new J's. I spent $300 for these things. So murder comes from what? Hatred. Why do we hate each other?
Why?
Why do we hate each other?
I guess off of jealousy.
Off of jealousy. That thing has been forced upon us. Because why? You know about Black Wall Street? You never heard of Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma? Out of slavery, our foreparents were millionaires. They have more than the so-called white man. And guess what? The white man dropped bombs on that place. But guess what? We built it back up. So how did Tulsa, Oklahoma finally get destroyed? The white man ice is colder than my ice. We no longer want to buy from our own people. We want to be accepted by them. And it's happening right now. You've been paying attention to the news? I'm from Atlanta. Right now, what's the Jay Morrison and T.I. up there boycotting and protesting against Houston restaurant. Now Jay Morrison and T.I. got money. Houston wouldn't let them sit down and eat, so now they're upset. Hey, let me say that again. T.I. and Jay Morrison has money. Someone in their right mind would do what? Make their own restaurant. But not us. We destroy it. We don't want to buy and sell from each other. So what do? We want to be accepted by the other nations. We want the other nations to accept us. We're going to force our money on us. That's why we destroy it right now. How? You go to a school where somebody don't want you in the school. What do you think they're going to teach you? You think they're going to teach you how to overcome them? No, they're going to teach you how to be a slave.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.